Good, okay. This isn't Sleeping Beauty, so I guess this is the thing now. Taking Disney animated movies and then doing a live action version because they're public
What's the
domain.
concept?
Okay, I guess we can cash in on
It's
that.
the concept of Cinderella. You know, the wicked stepmother, the wicked stepson, the wicked stepdaughter, the daughter hitting on her new possible father's son.
That okay, yeah, that is all new, and I love how they say like, yeah, your brother, my step brother, and it's like,
And they just treat her bad.
well, yeah, they're supposed to. Her name is Cinderella. Here's my problem with this movie. Shouldn't a movie called Cinderella in the Caribbean have a character named Cinderella?
It's a concept. It's the concept of the movie, not necessarily meaning her name needs to be Cinderella.
This is
She
the
is
second.
growing up like Cinderella did,
This
with a
is
wicked stepmother
this is at
that
least
always
the
made her
second.
clean and everything else.
This is at least the second time I've had to say that. The first was in the Rage Carry 2, where I was like, in this movie called The Rage Carry 2, shouldn't there be a character named Carrie in it?
Why?
Because it's called The Rage Carry 2, it's a sequel.
But isn't it a concept? She had something horrible happen to her and she was now raged and she was carrying on like Carrie.
That's Cinderella. Oh. No, in that it was the mother was like Carrie's college roommate, I think. So that's how she has that's how she has powers now.
Her stepmother is getting married and
Digger.
she's been engaged for like what, 6 months or so?
She's been married like 3 or 4 times.
She's going to be married the third time. She had her
Only
kids,
third?
and then she married Vanderbilt, and then now she was.
No, Vanderbilt was I thought it was just some reference to a reality show.
No, that was her last name.
Oh, wow. Why would you pick that for a name? You might as well say your last name is Gastineau or Gotti. Gastineau Girls and what was that show? Growing Up Gotti, I think. Starring Victoria Gotti.
I don't know.
So
Anyway,
so the only way this really ties into Cinderella is that she's bullied around, she has a stepmother, she has a stepsister. However, gender equality, she now has a stepbrother. Because that was the problem in those Cinderella books, right?
and he was always involved on his phone.
I will say that out of all three of her step family, he was like the most likable person.
When they went fishing,
He was the most likable person.
the Sky Pole,
He was the most likable person, and you know why he was the most likable?
because he didn't interact.
He was barely in the movie. He's maybe in the movie for like 10 or 15 minutes.
He's always on his phone with his sports business.
Part of me thinks that you could have removed his character and given the stepsister that role, and nothing really would have changed much.
Whatever. I didn't think it was all that bad.
And the stepsister, for being a wedding planner, she stunk at it.
Yeah, but the mom always gave her the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm. And Cinderella, she kind of looked like Isla Fisher in this.
Without the red hair.
Yeah, she kind of had light red in a few scenes. It's like, man, a lot of the Cinderella tropes they're not in this movie. Like, there's no ball, there's no Prince Charming,
Well, there was going to be the wedding and the wedding
there's
reception,
no
so she had the nice dress.
there's no put the shoe on the foot. I saw a
Because they
horror
kept walking in the sand.
sandals, I guess, but still, I saw a Cinderella horror film that probably had a budget of $1 million, and at least that had a ball. Oh, there's also no fairy godmother. What the?
And the wedding
And that
planner,
had a prince too.
the wedding planner had picked her seat on the airplane, which was a middle seat back of the plane by the bathrooms
No recline.
and no reclining.
I don't remember her saying middle seat though.
Oh, I thought she said it was a middle seat.
Also, based on the love interest or the prince, I guess, the fill-in prince. Um, it looks like she was living in like what did they say, like the housekeeping quarters or
Yeah,
something?
she was in a small room.
Especially when there was like a big room completely empty right next to her.
No,
Um,
upstairs
no,
next to
no,
her stepsister.
I thought it said next to her. I thought he said next to her.
Next to her stepsister. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I did catch some things on
and then
TV.
I don't know if I mentioned this or not. Yes, sir. You can ride your motorcycle, just not right now when we're recording.
Wasn't a
So I
motorcycle.
thought that was.
No, that was a car.
Mm. Um, but like it should have had more references to Cinderella. I guess maybe that was Snow White that I'm thinking of, but it was Snow. Well, maybe it was Cinderella because the birds did help make her dress in the animated movie. There's a scene where they see a lot of
Birds. They went into
I think it was called like Parrot Place or something, but they didn't look like parrots to me. They looked more
they did
like
too.
those were parrots.
All types of different ones, yes.
They look like dyed chickens, baby chickens.
No, there are blue, there are like the lime green, there are the ones with a little bit of red and
I
yellow.
know. You're saying they were small. They didn't look like
Oh, you
parrots.
wanted the macoos or
Sure,
macoos?
whatever.
The big guys? Oh.
I,
Hmm.
I know what I'm talking about. I've seen Rio. I own them, I think.
Okay, so let's kind of wrap this up and see where we're at.
So then yeah,
Are you gonna keep talking about it?
there's there is one part where she's holding a blue dress, and I'm like, okay, that's a reference to
We're
the
going back
animated
to the
movie.
blue sequin dress.
But as
Okay.
opposed to like this blue dress, she picks out like, or he picks out. He says, "You look beautiful in like an adobe brown dress," which sure, I guess. Um,
Well, the other one was kind of like old fashioned.
and
It was a dark dress with colors of a peacock designed down the front.
and I get
I think that one did not.
and I get having a crush, but I like the third time when she got rejected. The stepsister, stepsister, he's just not that into you.
Oh, but you can call me anytime you want.
I will not. Yeah, obvious. It's obvious the family is gold diggers or like 30,000 in debt. They only care about the bank account. Um, Cinderella just gets picked and leaves for good reason.
Yeah.
And then the father overhears
Mother,
the mother talking
the
about like
stepmother.
he has a lot of money. I'm not gonna give you a penny. When she had implied that Cinderella was the jerk, that she never wanted to attend, that she was too posh and like uppity, and that she was only into them for the money.
Yeah. And the other thing too is when she got sent to the store to pick up a couple things or
Oh God,
whatever.
if you're gonna talk about the fish,
Oh my God, she reeled in a fish on the stepbrother's rod, and then
he was getting seasick.
the stepmother pretended to call,
When all she did was just, I guess,
pretend
press.
to hit a button.
I thought she pressed Instagram.
I don't know what.
I thought I heard something.
So then when she got back, the fish was full of flies.
Yeah, it was disgusting. It was gross.
Yuck.
Um,
What more?
I'm trying to think.
Clean out the pool.
Yeah.
You forgot to set the table. And then the stepson, help her with her luggage. So what does he do? He gets up and he pulls at one foot and he goes, I helped you.
Mm-hmm.
It
Hey,
just
dude, come down
really,
here.
it really wasn't, yeah, it wasn't pleasant for her. But she didn't go and like narc. The son put it together, and then he talked to his
Was it the
father.
son or stepson or whatever?
No, the son, and then he talked to his dad, and then he's like, "Well, maybe you're imagining it. You have feelings for her or something."
You're seeing things that aren't there. You're putting your thoughts into
And then
things.
he finally figures it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then she tries to make amends with the stepmother, which was
But
kind of,
which was completely out of left field.
but the stepmother was like, "I need to pack. We have to leave."
And I'm sorry, but at the very least, for a Cinderella movie, shouldn't there be
She better kiss.
shouldn't there be a romance at the end
Yeah, she got it.
to at least start dating or something?
He said he thought he was falling in love with her.
They weren't dating or anything. It ends
They
with
had
them.
to get, they were living in the same house on vacation for the
I thought they
week.
were in a separate house.
No, it was a villa.
I thought he said he got the house for like 2 more days or something.
Yeah, the villa
Okay.
on the beach, on the ocean.
Spoiler alert, we were going to watch a much longer movie, but I made Kay pick this one. But it still counts that because this is one of Kay's films.
I didn't think it was that
I
bad.
had her pick a
If-
noun and this showed up.
If you like romance and the concept of the Cinderella story, and
It's barely Cinderella.
it's the concept.
Okay. Or premise, I should say.
Anyway, okay, I've got
Like
to
how
get,
Tyler Perry movies were the premise for not another church movie.
I've got to get some sleep. I have to get up early tomorrow, folks. So
If I want to watch a live action Cinderella movie, I will stick to good live action Cinderella movies. Movies like Cinderella starring Brandy and Jason Alexander. Thank you very much.
okay, okay. Have a good night.
That song still is in my head. Puffs, they can eat away to gain some royal pounds.
Okay,
It's on Tubi, so it won't hurt you to check it out, but it could have been more Cinderella.
I thought it was a modern day version.
That's
I
what
didn't think it was bad. So you know what, you can make up your own mind and talk to you later.
that's what I'm gonna put in the tagline. This Cinderella could have been more Cinderella. Join us next time when we'll take a look at a movie that is only available on DVD that several people think should be on Blu-ray.
Hmm.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So I guess this is the thing now. Do an updated remakes of live action versions of Disney animated characters because they've now entered the public domain. Okay, I guess we can cash in on that.
But it wasn't,
Cinderella of the Caribbean, which I've got a few problems about this movie.
of course.
Shouldn't a movie called Cinderella of the Caribbean have a character named Cinderella?
Not necessarily if they're taking the concept.
But then it's not Cinderella. It should be called
Yes, it's
Cinderella. Cinderella is public domain. Why did they need to hide why did they need
they
to
wanted the
not
concept of the story with the stepmother and a stepbrother and stepsister.
yeah, hey kids,
They just had
people
her come along to do all the work.
people remember when Cinderella had two stepsisters? Now she has a stepsister and stepbrother. So points for that, I guess. I mean like finally male equality is up to the level of female equality because finally we have a male stepbrother in Cinderella. Our long national nightmare is over. No, it's not.
Oh, come on.
But yeah,
The
this
concept was the story of Cinderella. She was never
uh
included. She was never included in the family. She squandered all of her dad's money. She never got
she
money.
did.
The stepmother.
Yeah, okay. Because you were saying like it follows the story of Cinderella, and I'm like, I don't remember Cinderella squandering money.
And she had two jobs, an internship in a school and a job with a tax accountant to help pay for her college.
Yeah, but
Because her stepmother never gave her any money.
okay, people,
Yet the son was always gambling.
here's why it's called Cinderella. Because there's a woman, because there's a girl who has a stepmother, stepsister, and a stepbrother. There you go. That's what makes it Cinderella. Literally, there is nothing else in this movie that is Cinderella. The
She gets
prince,
degraded. She gets downgraded.
yeah, okay, the prince, um, like there's no ball, there's no dance, there's no fairy godmother, there's no bus, there's no mice. She doesn't make her own dress. It's like, okay, I get not wanting to do a carbon copy of the Disney movie, but it's like there's a lot of parts where it could have referenced or done more with this premise, and it almost doesn't.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It's like one person wrote a Cinderella movie and another person wrote a wedding movie, and they just had AI merge them together.
Well, you could see that the stepmother only wanted her there to clean the pool, to clean the dishes,
Go
to
grocery
clean the
shopping.
table. Yeah, but to go grocery shopping so her own daughter can spend time
Can
with
hit on
Mun or whatever his name was. I don't remember.
me neither. This movie felt more like a Nicholas Sparks movie than a Cinderella movie.
Okay.
The main act, the Cinderella, she kind of looked like Isla Fisher in some scenes, especially with her like reddish kind of hair and her style. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff where it's like you can tell it's in modern time because they talk about gambling and laptops and
Well, it was just rude what her stepsister kept doing to her.
oh, you
She
mean
kept.
deleting the file?
Oh, yeah, that was really not nice. And if she was the wedding planner, then what the hey?
Yeah, to show you that the stepsister and stepmother are mean, um, they didn't even get Cinderella a dress. So she bought one, um, and she was kind of holding on to like a blue dress, and I was like, is that a reference to Cinderella, the animated movie? Because In the animated movie and in the live action remake, she is wearing a blue dress.
I thought it was on the clearance. I thought it was clearance.
But why would you want to dress all cute in a bright blue outfit when you can just wear a bland Adobe clay colored dress?
Mm.
I guess I'll give the movie a little bit of credit in that the Prince Charming,
Well, he figured it out.
yeah,
He tried to talk to his dad.
he knew, and then,
Then the
oh
fiance, the
crap,
stepmother,
crap, 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 crap.
what?